Welcome to WB Institution, an online educational app. Today we are going to discuss about characteristic of a measurement system. Measurement system? What is that measurement? What exactly this measurement means? Getting a numerical value for any physical quantity. Right? That is seem to be a measurement. I can state it with an example. See, just imagine you have got a digital weighing machine. You're going to some shop. You have to buy a doll, a half kg of doll. Okay. If you say to a shopkeeper, "Sir, please can you give me half kg of doll?" What he will do, he'll take that physical quantity that is said to be a doll. He will keep it in a weighing machine. In that you can see a numerical numbers, means the kg, the gram or kg or whatever the weight of that particular physical quantity are represented with a number. That is said to be a measurement. Clear? Clear? Now what exactly a system is? It is the combination of different components are got together to perform got together in a single unit to perform a defined process. Means that just imagine my 5 fingers are said to be different components. These are brought together and made into a single unit. Can you see a single unit? And this is defined to perform a single operation. This is said to be a system. Okay. Under that, we'll be having a characteristics of a measurement system. Means that what exactly the characteristic, the performance of those measurement system, we are going to define it. We are going to learn about the performance of different measurement systems. Clear? Under this, we'll be having 2 categories. One is said to be your static and another one is said to be a dynamic. These are the 2 different types of measurement systems. We will be learning very clearly about what exactly a static measurement system is, what exactly a dynamic measurement system is. If you see static characteristics, added to that, I just want to inform these are very important. This concept is very important for your competitive exams. They'll be asking the specific topic. Under that, they'll be asking about the definition or the formula or the process, the yes or no choices questions you may get under this topic. So please do concentrate in this topic. Clear? Okay, fine. Now, what exactly a static characteristic means that the measurement of a quantity does not vary with time. Simple. Clear? The measured quantity does not vary with time. If it varies also, it shows a minor deflection, minute changes. That is said to be a static. Everything with respect to time. Clear? With respect to time. Fine. Under this, we'll be having some characteristic, means that the performance. We'll be having the first one is said to be the accuracy. Okay. What exactly the word English meaning for accuracy is? Something accurate, something very perfect. That is said to be accuracy. Clear? Likewise, the closeness of a measurement to a true value. Means that, see, for every apparatus, for every measuring instrument, it has its own true value. Means that will be a perfect value. With respect to that, if you work on that particular instrument, you'll be getting some value that won't be that accurate. In some instruments, you'll be getting, of course, you'll be getting your true values, but in some instrument, a point variation it might have. That is said to be a measured value. See, true value is totally different from a measured value. Clear? Measured value is said to be the value which you have obtained by doing an experiment, and true value is already stated value. This will give this output. This is said to be your true value. Clear? Now, under this, accuracy will be having 3 important points. One is said to be your point accuracy. The other one is accuracy as a percentage of a scale range and accuracy as a percentage of a true value. I can can state this with another example. See, in a dartboard, this center point is said to be very accurate. This is an accurate point. If you throw your pen accurately at this point, the output is said to be accurate. Clear? I hope you understand what exactly accurate is. Right? Now, about the point accuracy. See, take the same example. In this point is said to be an accurate point, not over the surrounded points. This entire center point is said to be an accurate point. This can be stated as a point accurate. This point is said to be a accurate point. What exactly that accuracy mean? Clear? Now, when you come back to your accuracy as a percentage of a true value, they have given a formula. See, these formulas are very important for your competitive exams, so please do concentrate in that. See, they have given a formula that is measured value minus true value into 100 divided by the true value. Already have told you what exactly a measured value is. It's the value which you got as the output after doing an experiment. That is said to be a measured value. What exactly a true value? That is a already standard output value of a particular instrument is said to be a true value into 100 divided by a true value. Clear? So for example, what the percentage of a true value defines, I can state that with an example. Okay, just imagine I'm going to have a digital weaving machine. In that, I'm going to measure the weight for some 100 kgs. Okay, I'm going to measure the weight of some 100 kgs. They have stated you may get a problem in this way for a competitive exams. See, for a weaving machine have 100 kg of weight. If it has a 1% of true value error, what exactly a error true value error? Okay, what exactly error is? Error is equal to measured value minus true value. Okay, this is what the formula for error is. Measured value minus true value. It can also be stated as output minus input. Am I right? What is your output? That is the what is your output? That will be your measured value. Am I right? Yes. So again, coming back to the question, a digital weaving machine I have to take a weight for about 100 kgs. It has a 1% of true value error. What will be your output? For your percentage of accuracy of true value, it gives the output like 99 to 101. Why? Because the error may range in positive or negative. Okay, positive in the sense the 100 goes for 101. If it comes with negative, it goes, the 1% will goes as 99. Clear? Hope you understand what exactly this accuracy of true value is. Now, coming back to your accuracy as a percentage of a scale range. In this same example, I'm going to take a weaving machine. Added to that, I'm going to take a weight for again 100 kgs. This also shows an error of 1%. The error may range in positive and negative. 1% of what? A full scale range error. Okay, full scale range error. In that case, I'll be getting an output of 90 or 1 or 10. Clear? 90 or 1 or 10. Here, you can see the variations of output in your scale range as well as the true value. Right? So here, the percentage of error is maximum in the percentage. Right? So added to that, you can see what is that formula? Measured value minus true value into 100 divided by maximum scale value. Using this formula only, you will be getting this kind of answer. Here divided by true value, here divided by maximum scale value. Clear? Maximum level of your scale. That will be the known value. Fine. So these are about your accuracy. First characteristic, accuracy. Now getting into the next one, precision. See, this is going to be very important. They may ask a question like whether accuracy and precisions are similar. The answer is no. The precision is different, accuracy is different. I'll state with an example. See, precision is defined as a closeness of a arrangement among a set of results. I'll let you with an example. I'm going to take a dartboard. Okay, I'm going to take a dartboard. The center point is said to be an accurate point, right? This is said to be a accurate point. Now, see, first circle. So these are the areas which relates your accurate point. These are the places which relates the accurate point, right? Am I right? Now, precision is stated as if you throw your pin, it may ranges. The first pin may comes in this area. The second pin may comes in this area. The third pin may range in this area. These points are said to be a precision point. See, these crossed points are said to be a precision point. Why? Because it lies closeness to the accurate point. These trials lies close to the accurate point. This is said to be precision. Hope you understand what exactly an accurate is, what exactly a precision is. Fine. Now, under that you will be having two different characteristics. One is said to be a conformity, next is said to be a significant figure. Okay, what exactly a conformity is? Now let me give a real-time example. For in your college, you'll be having in each semester you'll be getting labs, right? You'll be having 1, 2 or 3 labs. In each lab, apart from the computer labs, other electronic labs or electrical labs, for each batch you may have 3 members or 2 or 4, maximum 4 members, right? In that case, each individual are different. Okay, each individual are different. One may be like he only have to do the experiment and he only have to take an answer output. The other person, like, he'll be like watching showcase, means that he'll be sitting and watching what exactly the other people are doing. The other one will be a supporting one, means that he want to do but he's not that confident to do the particular experiment. In that case, see, but your ma'am is stating that each and everyone have to do. In these 3 people, the first person who needs to do the experiment is the doubted person, means that he has a capability to do, he wants to do, but he is quite feared to do the that particular experiment individually. Clear? In that case, the first person is doing, he have taken the answer. The proactive person, who I told earlier, the person who really wants to do the experiment, that person was absent on that particular class. Okay. But to the next day, his friends have taken the output for the experiments. He says that who has did the experiment have told, my dear friend, have did the experiment yesterday itself, I have got the value, but the next lab will move on to the next experiment. He is stating, but this proactive person is saying, no, I need to do the experiment again. I want to confirm the answer again. Clear? Can you able to understand the situation? So the same experiment is done by the other person again. In that case also he is getting a same output only. In order to confirm it whether he did the thing right or wrong, again he is going for the same experiment once again. So he is getting the same output. So to confirm the same experiment or same measuring items or quantity, we are doing it again and again. This is said to be a conformity. I hope you understand. Now, significant figure. See, this can be explained as I'm going to take a value like 10. Okay, this 10, see, 9.999 can also be stated as 10, as well as 10.111 can also be represented as 10. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with this? So this is said to be a significant figure. Understand? This kind of value, this kind of taking a value is said to be a significant figure. Now, next topic is said to be your next characteristic is repeatability. This also stated as taking the measurement of a particular quantity of a same item under the same condition repeatedly. Same item, same condition, but the experiment is done repeatedly. This is said to be this is the entire concept of this repeatability. I can state, see, this is going to be your input output scale. So output area, this is going to be your input area. I'll be getting a linear output. Okay, this is going to be a linear output. If I take an experiment repeatedly, the point may vary. A point variation you will obtain, right? So that point variation, it can be a positive and negative point variations. Means that if I'm getting a 10, means it can be a 9.99 something or 10.11 something. Okay, I can get 10.11 something. So a point variation, it may vary. So I'm going to take this as a point variation areas. This entire thing is the repeatedly obtained value. The entire, this is calculated. Clear? So this is said to be your repeatability. Fine. So next is said to be sensitivity. Here you can see a formula. See, sensitivity is the increment of an output signal. Output is your dy. Increment of your output signal to the increment of a input measured signal. I can state this with an example. See, you have a thermometer, okay, a mercury thermometer. If you dip the mercury thermometer in a hot water, because of its sensitivity, immediately you can see a hike of temperature in the mercury panel, or over that you can see in a calibrated scale, you can measure the temperature. Since it is sensitive to your temperature, we are getting an increment in the, the value have been changed in the mercury level. From that you are getting the reading, right? This is said to be a sensitivity. The input, there is a change in the input, because of that we are getting a change in the output. I'm right. What will be an input? That is a temperature. The output is the values in your calibrated scale of your mercury thermometer. Likewise, see, for a large sensitivity instrument, if a particular instrument is very sensitive, in that case, for a minor changes in your input, that will show a major deflection in the output. Can you able to understand? Can you able to understand? Now, we are going to see about the linearity. Linearity is the incremental changes in the input and output are constant over a specified. Always we know that, see, linearity means we have an input and an output. In that will be having a linear straight line. This is a linear line, right? This is a linear line. Over this is said to be your displacement, displacement, and this is the extended load. Okay. Now this straight line is said to be, see, this is a single line, I have overwritten it. Okay, this straight line is said to be a linear, where it does not show any deflection for the input and output area. A straight narrow line is present. When you consider the non-linearity, that is stated with the formulae like the maximum deviation for non-linearity. Okay, non-linearity, it is stated as a maximum deviation, the value which you obtained from a maximum deviation divided by full scale reading. Full scale reading. Fine. How I can explain with a diagram? See, I'm going to take a output and a input. Okay, this is going to be my input, and straight line, this is going to be a linear, And now I have got a non-linear signal in this pattern. Okay, this is going to be my linear signal. This curved signal is said to be non-linear signal. Fine. So here comes the maximum deviation is the deviation of this area. The value you obtained for this area is said to be a maximum deviation. Fine. This is a maximum deviation divided by the full scale reading. Already you will be knowing. From this you can calculate the non-linearity of your particular measuring instrument. Hope you're clear with what exactly a linearity is. Now, span. The next characteristic is said to be a span. Here you can see just an formulae. Yes, maximum minus minimum. Algebraic sum of maximum minus minimum means that I'll just make you understand with an example. I'm going to take a thermometer. Its minimum value ranges from minus 100 degrees Celsius and its maximum value ranges from plus 100 degrees Celsius. Clear? When I substitute this value over here, the minimum value, this is your minimum value and this is said to be your maximum value of particular instrument, measuring instrument. If you substitute this in this particular equation, what is your maximum? That is said to be my 100 minus into minus, it goes to plus 100 is equal to 200. So my span value is 200. Can you able to understand? Can you able to understand what exactly a span represent is? Yes. So now getting into the next topic, that is seem to be a range. Okay. What is generally what you know about a range, ma? Range means, see, for a particular, each student have their own IQ level, right? I can't expect everybody to take 100% mark. Each people are unique. Each people have their own range of talent. Am I right? Likewise, each instrument has its own range of input and output value, means that the minimum and maximum level. Do you agree with me? Each instrument will be having its minimum. The same thermometer, if you consider, its minimum value, I am stating that it's minus 100 degrees Celsius and its maximum range is plus 100 degrees Celsius. Over that, it can't measure. More than 100 degrees Celsius, it won't measure, and under 100 degrees Celsius, it won't give a result. This is said to be the range of a particular thermometer. Do you agree with this? This is said to be what exactly a range is. Understood? So yes, next topic is your drift. Drift is stated as change in the instrument output when my true value is kept constant. Means that when my input is kept constant, there is a change in my output. So that is said to be a zero drift. Clear? That is said to be a zero drift. When my input is constant, during that time, the output area shows a kind of deflection, a kind of variation. This is said to be a zero drift. Clear? The next characteristic is said to be resolution. Yes, of course, each instrument has its own kind of resolution. Here also they are stating that the resolution depends on an instrument. Of course, each instrument is independent of its own characteristics. But the minimum change in input reading can be traced accurately. What exactly a resolution is? If there is a minor change in the input, a perfect, very accurate instrument will trace that a minor change of your input signal. Clear? That is said to be a resolution. Next one, in this drift, you can see two different, that is, these are the major quantities because of that drift may occur, that is the internal temperature change. If there is any internal temperature change in instrument, the drift may occur, and the component instability, because of its component instability, okay, the drift may occur. What is the drift? Change in your output with when there is no change in the input. Okay, so there is no link between your input and the output. Because of that instrument, the component instability, because of that it may occur due to the temperature instabilities or changes, it may occur. Clear? Now the next one is hysteresis. Okay, here we can state it with an example. See, I'm going to take this is going to be our input signal, and this is going to be our output signal. Okay, this is going to be your output area. When my input signal is given, it goes with a variation in this type. Okay, if I want to consider the same output in a reversed direction, okay, in this direction, okay, now what I'm stating that, see, for example, if you have to run for it, just imagine you are going for a running race, okay, for 100 meters. With 0.7 seconds, you have finished the race in the first attempt. Okay, now again, you're going for the same race, for the same track, for the same distance. Do you achieve you will finish the track at the same time? No, you may have a variation, right? Likewise, see, for the same instruments, the same input, the output value obtained in this will not be same when you come in a descending order, or this is said to be a hysteresis. The difference is said to be a hysteresis. Clear? You can see within formulae, the hysteresis is given as, which is equal to H. H is the variation, this part, the variation part, ascending to descending variation is said to be H, capital hysteresis, divided by, see, output maximum. What is your output maximum? This area is said to be a output minimum area, and the maximum, the peak point is said to be, this is the output maximum area. Clear? So output maximum minus output minimum into 100. Using this formula, you can calculate your hysteresis. Clear? See, this hysteresis loss not only occur in magnetic area, but also it goes with your electricals also. Clear? Clear? Now, the next characteristic is said to be your threshold. What is a threshold? Instrument's input is gradually increased from 0. Okay, there will be a minimum value required to give a deductible output. Means that same, I'm going to consider this is going to be my input area, this is going to be a output area. When a instrument is set to operate from a 0 position, this is going to be a 0. It needs some kind of minimal value to start over here. It may range from here to the, clear? This minimum area is said to be a threshold value. Understood? Understood? This is what explained as what exactly a threshold is. Now, dead zone. A dead zone is nothing but range of a input reading when there is no change in the output. Okay, the output is kept constant, there is no change by considering the range of a input reading. Clear? This is going to be that zone, particular zone is said to be your dead zone. When my output is kept constant, considering the range, at what range my input is in. Clear? Now, next, finally, this because of this dead zone, you can we are getting an improved. Yes, next is your backlash. This topic seems to be very interesting. See, I'll explain this with an example. Consider this pen, okay? Consider this pen. It has a cap and a writing part. I'm going to close this pen. It has a hole inside this which fits the writing part of your pen, right? The nipple. Okay. When I close this, it goes inside. It's perfect. It got locked, right? Do you believe that the entire this writing part fits my closing part? No. You will be having a gap in that, a air gap in that, right? You'll be having a gap. It's not perfectly fit. But if you look like this, you'll say that the pen is perfect. It got locked with a correct lock, right? But is it perfectly locked? No. You'll be having a minute distance, a minute gap. That is said to be a backlash. You can also state it with an example like, see, if I'm having a screw. Wait. I'll explain it. If you have a screw like this, okay, screw and a nut. If I tighten my screw, see, you'll be getting this kind of, see, this is going to be minute area, and when you turn your screw, you may see that the screw is fitted perfectly, but you may have a gap like this. So this gap is said to be a backlash area. Clear? So this concept is very important, ma. Fine. These are about your characteristic of your static. Now we'll see what exactly a dynamic characteristics are. Next is your dynamic characteristics. We have got into the next part of segment, that is going to be your dynamic characteristics. See what exactly a dynamic characteristic, how it is different from your static. In static, with respect to time change, there is no change in the quantity, or there is no change, or there is no deflection. When you come with your dynamic characteristic, with respect to the input, the output will change simultaneously. Means it shows how well a sensor responds to a change in the output. The word sensor is very important. Why? Because what exactly is sensor, ma'am? It is used to sense the physical quantity and give a immediate response. Whereas in static, it does not give a immediate response. It does not give a response, right? But in dynamic, it gives a immediate response. That is going to be a major difference from your static to your dynamic. Clear? So we'll see some of important dynamic characteristics. First one is said to be a speed of response. Yes, very important. How fast, when there is an input change is given, how fast the output has been obtained. The speed of response is very important. See, they have stated how rapidly with which an instrument responds, rapidly, how fast, right? How fast the instrument will respond to the change in the value of a quantity being measured. Means that how fast it gives a change in output with respect to the input. This is said to be a speed of response. Next one is fidelity. Very important concept in your competitive exam. Fidelity is defined as the degree of closeness. Means that a replica. You can state it as a replica. How perfect I'll get a replica means that how the degree of closeness with which the system indicates or records signal which is impressed upon it. Means that, see, this is my input diagram. Okay, I'm going to take a output diagram. How close, how similar it is. This is my output. How similar it looked from my input. This is going to be a fidelity. The degree of closeness from the input to that of a output which you have got it. That is said to be a fidelity. Clear? Now next one is said to be overshoot. Fine. It defines the mass of, because of its mass and inertia of a moving part. Means that, see, just consider a galvanometer kind of instrument where you can see a deflection. Okay, the deflecting part, if you take a galvano kind of instrument, it has a readings like this. Okay, it has a dealing like this. You'll be having a pointer showing a deflection. Okay, so when my if you give your input, this moving scale will move along this deflecting, this calibrated scale. So at some point it will show a deflecting in this point, which has got overshooted, means that it is going beyond the marked scale value, right? So this part is said to be a overshooted part. Can you able to understand what exactly a overshoot is? Yes, fine. So these are the important characteristics of your static and your dynamic, the overall measurement system. Hope you understand what is a measurement, characteristics of a measurement system is. If you have any doubts, you can write your questions in the comments. So with this, I'll wind up. Thank you.